Hi guys, welcome back to a quick tarot card pulling. This is filmed on Sunday, March 22nd, literally 555. So change and transformation, pulling from the Light Sheer Tarot. If anyone's like myself, it's just like, this is a time for rest and rejuvenation because it is going to get busy. You know what I mean? Like they were telling us that last time. I've been seeing it with other healers saying the same thing. So I just feel like that's just Spirit's positive confirmation. Like what I'm saying to you guys, to the tribe, is like, it's coming from other people as well. So it's like the collective energy. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you feel maybe you're sleeping a little bit more, I notice with myself, and that's the important thing, is like when we do look back on things, it's only to learn from it. And see like patterns and stuff, like how universe is trying to give you nudges. So one of the things like with myself, it's like when I feel like I'm tired, or I'm sleeping a little bit more, I'm like, they're preparing me for something's coming here, by the grace of God. It's nothing crazy, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a busy time. And you know what I mean? If you are someone that has ability, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I was literally talking to someone that's close to me about this. It's like, talking about like how, it's like all these other things coming up. And I said, you know what? I said, but they're good problems to have. And he's like, you know what? You're right. And it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, these are the things we prayed for. You know what I mean? I feel like appreciation. I feel like the World card, we are wrapping up March, but I also feel like because retrograde, they said 3 weeks hanging over energy, and I'm not wishing that on anyone. I'm just saying, like, just be gentle with yourself if you're feeling a little bit more tired. Like with myself, you know what I mean? I'm cycling. Like I started cycling last night. So it's just like, yeah, you're feeling a little bit tired. Like we still had a great weekend. Like I made a big pot of soup with extra broth because I love, heating it up and just like sipping on it when I'm, working my shifts. And it's like, instead of nibbling on anything crazy, it's like something that will warm me to my core, but also, lots of vitamins and nutrients, you know what I mean? So it's like, that, everyone's going to keep pecking at that. We made ribs last night and we were playing pinochle until, I think we played until like 8 o'clock or a little bit after, and then we ate and then started posting. You know what I mean? It's just like we're putting your energy into positive things. You know what I mean? And it's like you could be anywhere, but it's like literally talking to, someone that I'm close to, and I was just like, I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I wish I would have done this. And I said, but at the same time, I wish I would have had my kids younger so I had more time with them. And he's just like, yeah, it makes sense. He's like, I'm like, it's a double-edged sword. And he goes, it really is. And I'm like, yep. I'm like, but they'll find their way. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's life. It's just navigating forward. I love the hangman energy because it's just like, you know what I mean? Like we were just talking. It's like, I feel like it's like transforming things. Like they keep bringing up, funny enough, they're showing the hangman because it's like this looks like a pool of water, right? Instead of being a threat hanging over the water, it's like learning how to not manipulate, but like to sit there and teach yourself to like, we'll get through this. Literally like God is in control, and whomever you believe in. This is not pushing this on anyone. 333 on the timer. I should be writing these down so I can put them on my cover. But you know what I mean? I feel like this is like, they were knocking about this before. And then Chelsea Gomez, very popular. She just had a baby. I love her energy. Knocking on the same thing that Spirit was bringing up. And I'm like, I'm not going to waste my energy worrying about a situation that is not in front of me yet. And I'm like, it may not even happen. You know what I mean? Because God is on our side. You know what I mean? He already saw what already happened. He knows what they're planning. He's already come to a solution. I know sometimes in life, obviously gone through what we've gone through, a bereavement. It's like in that storm, we didn't, in the beginning especially, you have no idea what's going to happen, but that season of healing and learning and accepting is like, even though I didn't see my way forward, even though I didn't know what to say to God, you know what I mean? I was just like, I still did my devotions and everything like that because it's like I still had faith. I just had no idea what to say. I'm like, I've never, I lost my dad, but this felt like I got shot by a cannon. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, there is a huge chunk of me missing. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, I don't wish it on anyone, but it's like, I am thankful that, you know, and they were just trying to help me. I did not take those huge bottles of medication, and maybe I would have, you know what I mean? Would have, could have, should have, whatever with there. But there's just too many bad behaviors, you know what I mean? Patterns of addiction that run through generations. It's like, I refuse to carry that forward. I refuse to make that part of myself. I need to feel what I'm feeling. And when it's time to move forward, it'll be time to move forward. You know what I mean? I am someone that wears their heart on their sleeve. I am the someone that absorbs energy. I am someone, when something exits my life, whatever the situation is, it's just like, I need to feel my way through it. And then when it's time to move forward, I'd rather move healed than broken, because there was a time that I was just like, you know, and I shouldn't have done those things. Like, no. It's like, you're hurting. This is why you keep repeating the definition of insanity. So that's why I was saying, like, you know, especially highlighting our crown. You know what I mean? It's like finding the balance, like stirring your finger in the water gently, you know, where it's just like, it's not a threat anymore. You're not being held over water where you are going to drown. You know what I mean? Like, literally the next card is the moon, and she's drowning. She's under the water. You know, and this is all about realignment. This is about bringing back in that balance. We got that a lot last week, about bringing back in that balance. Full moon is April 2nd, 1st, because that's when Passover starts. That's one thing I love, is like all these synchronicities as I move forward in my faith. And again, this is not for everybody. This is, you know what I mean? Whatever your journey is, you know what I mean? I'm very open-minded. It's like, you know, whatever people believe in, that's where they put their faith in. And it's like, as I believe in something, that's how people put their faith in something else. So even if it's their higher self, and that's the way people need to start seeing it. Nobody is wrong or right. Like Kiefer said on Big Brother, we're all trying to find our way to God. You know what I mean? Whomever we resonate with, you know? But I love the yin-yang balance. I feel like Venus, love. And I feel like sometimes, yeah, we do feel like we're drowning in our emotions or drowning in situations. But it's like, that's why I'm saying you got to ground yourself, which, you know, is like pulling yourself, absorbing that water is, you know, we will make it through this situation. We will continue forward. You know, you are continuing forward. That is a choice. How you continue forward is a choice. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yes, I'm feeling this way, but it's like, I will be gentle with myself. I will drink my water. You know, don't try to partake in any craziness that will hinder you, you know, and get your sleep. And it's like, you know, today wasn't perfect, but, you know, we still tried. We still try to make the most of it. And that's all we can do, really. This era is all about change and transformation. Things that no longer serve us. Things that they want to invoke into us. I'm trying to pull cards as I'm talking. But, you know, it's like people, places, things. I love the fact that this new portal is opening. So 26 is coming up this week as well. So it's like, you know, this portal of manifestation. Learning new manifestations, or learning, like, you know, like they were saying, things that used to resonate with us, we no longer feel like it goes with us. You know what I mean? You outgrown it, or you outlearned it, or, you know, it's time to move forward or make room for something else. You know, this is all with, you know, it's springtime for a lot of people, or some people are heading into fall, but it's like changing of the wardrobes, or, you know, like us, like it's garbage pickup this week. So I see some, you know, debris that is flown around. I could clean up, you know what I mean? Or getting the garden beds, like literally the coffee grounds that I had. I was sprinkling in the side garden bed, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to clean up. This is because I see the growing pattern of it now, because the first year I was like, I have no idea. I don't want to do anything and kill the plant. So now that I see how it comes in, I'm going to clean it up, and I know where to clean up and what to leave, and not to disturb, you know, the beautiful hosta, and I don't know what the other one is. I'll probably have to Google it, but, you know, just clean that up. And it's just like, you know, and I know it's going to be a busy week for us, but you know what I mean? And like I said, tiring, but you know, little by little, the to-do list never ends. You know what I mean? It's like whatever we do on the inside, it's like, no, we transfer that to the outside. I love this, like, Eight of Pentacles, but we always see Pentacles as working, which it is a lot of the time, because you do see like gaining knowledge, and this could be a sign of you taking on kitchen magic, because it looks like she used to, maybe write down manifestations, but now she's like bringing in or making them work together, making it come full circle. Green candle is usually seen as a money color candle to manifest money. White always is a great substitute for any other color you're trying to use, but you know what I mean? I love that. It's like, this is kind of, I love the fact it looks like a tree. So spring is all about extending. If you look at the trees, you can see where they grow like maybe 5 inches on the branches, where they, maybe get a little taller, a little fuller, you know what I mean, from the previous year, if you're in the same place that you were last year, but I love that. It's like you're growing, you're expanding, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you're open to growing and expanding, it's like your For You page, news outlets, shows, songs, music, photos. It's like they will find a way, dreams. I notice a lot, they're talking about this at this time for myself. It's just like, getting channel messages, so I've been writing them down. I haven't looked up one of them. I'll try to look that up probably tomorrow or something, but it's just, I feel like they're saying more grounding things, instead of having your work on, well, maybe you're filming this. She's sitting in a chair. She could have something in front of her and she's filming it. Who knows? So maybe this is your workout on display. You're sharing your knowledge with the world. And that's where, instead of being a gatekeeper, you're sitting there and it's like, hey, you can do this too. If this resonates with you, then I love this. This looks like an aloe plant. I've been talking about aloe gel for your scalp lately. But not only are you expanding outward where the world can see you, but underneath. Like literally they were bringing up that situation. Chelsea brought it up, and it's exactly what they said. And I said, you know what? I am not going to worry about problems that are not in front of me. I know this. That's what I was saying. Retrograde is still hanging over for 3 weeks, but it's like, I'm not going to let something that's not a part of me try to make its way into me. I'm going to, ground myself and be like, you know what? Today is enough. We're going to deal with what we can get done today. And that's it. And keep moving forward. You know what I mean? So it's just like me and Michael are getting ready for Passover. Like I told him, starts on the 1st. So we're making sure we got our matzah. We're buying the foods that we can eat and keeping them in the house. So that way, everybody is, full satisfied, but it's just, I feel like a rededication. So Page of Wands, something, they'll say like something coming in. Wands is all about our intuition and stuff like that. So they could be calling 3 weeks time, intuition is being called for, so Passover should be done. This is like after Easter, you know what I mean? So it's just like calling in that kind of energies. Or, you know what I mean? They were saying like, be open to encounters if you follow the dailies from healing energy tools. And I feel like encounters, and I felt like alien energy, foreign energy, like be open to encounters. And then they were like there, THERE. And then they were like there, like a person. And I was like, so it could be someone coming in at this time. So 3 weeks time, but I'll be 100%, I was seeing like May 27th is when this person or encounter should happen, but it may happen sooner. You know what I mean? Because timelines are always shifting. You know what I mean? Because I know there's supposed to be something. I don't know if it's that necessarily, but it's like I know that something's supposed to come in, so maybe it's shifted. Who knows? Timelines can excel forward. Timelines can be pushed back. They're showing the Nine of Cups here because some of you may be calling in love. I love the purity of the horse. So it could be like the purity of the situation. They do talk about like the Nine of Cups is filling your cup. Love the love letter. So that may be significant. Maybe you've been like DMing each other. Like with the symbol of, I don't know what symbol that would be. I think that's Yahoo, isn't it? Is the envelope? I would have to check. But it's like something coming in like through email. But keep an eye on your letter mail as well. Because Jen, I think her name is Jen the Alchemist. She's really good. I like her too. She was talking about that, so that's what came to my mind. But maybe going out for a picnic. Tattoos may be significant as well with there. I feel like I should pull more cards, but I don't want to make the video too long. But we'll end it with the strength card here. But you know what I mean? It could be a platonic. I know they're showing romantic there, and we're always like kind of seeing that, but it could be someone coming in. I feel like there's a huge age difference here, and I feel like you're like, it's not appropriate. You know what I mean? I feel like you're the older person of the two, and it's like you're both in different timelines. You know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like it's like articulating that. Like, it's like, I'm not pushing back because like yourself, but as someone where I am and where you're heading is different. Like, you may, like, you know, with myself, it's like that person may want a family. I'm not looking to have any more kids. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm 45. You know, it's considered a geriatric pregnancy. God bless anyone that's had a child later on in life at that age. But for myself, it's like, if they have children, that's one thing, but I'm not looking to add kids into that situation. Fur babies, yes, but not children. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish I had, you know, my kids a bit earlier so I could have more time with them. You know, I feel like anyone that is connected with their kids feels that way. Like, you know, I wish I had more, you know what I mean? Because we're heading, you know what I mean? But there's still lots of time. But you know what I mean? Still, like, you know, when you start calculating how old you will be when they reach this age, you're like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? God willing, you know, very long, blessed life, you know? But I feel like with the strength card, and I feel like the innocence of a situation could, so like, you know, we're talking about, like young, the age difference here. I don't know how that scurried off way over there, but anyway, you know what I mean? It's like the lamb, but I feel like also young energy, finding that balance, because you do see like the lion, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, don't have to show the claws unless I have to or provoked, you know, but I love the heart necklace, so I feel like Angel of Love from the Energy Oracle cards. Funny, I was like going back and forth on what deck to pull from. I kept seeing a deck, and I'm like, I don't know what deck that is. The only closest one I can feel is Energy Oracle cards, but I didn't want to pull from that deck, so I was like, I've loved this deck, I'm going to pull from this one. But you know what I mean? Kind of looks like a little piggy too with a snout, but I feel like it's a lamb. They're like, Lamb of God. We're heading into, they're like, Lamb of God, to have mercy on us, grant us peace. When we do mass, they do that. Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God, I can't remember what the second was, but it's like, grant us peace. So I feel like they're, you know what I mean? This could be you, like they're showing like the yin and yang as things leave, making way for others. That's what I was saying. Maybe like something, a practice that you do, or maybe this is like videos you watch, like the Anastasia, what is her name on freaking Instagram? Manifestation doll. I hope I'm saying it right. But it's just like her coming in, and it's just like, I honestly, no offense to her, but she's very beautiful. 1818. I thought she was AI, to be honest. I was just like, is this real? You know what I mean? But then it's like, you follow her, and it's like, she's like, she films at all, doing orders and everything like that, real life situations. Like, she does, you know what I mean? She's very open about who she is and her life. And, you know, we only see a window of it, but she's very open. But, you know what I mean? That's what I like about her. You know what I mean? Because it shows, like, yeah, you know what I mean? In that one video, I was like, dang, like, who is this? You know what I mean? Like, you could feel she's very strong and powerful. But then I'm like, for me, it's just like, I don't want to give into, you know, energy to some fake bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you know? But then I was like, okay, I love that. I kept it. I saved it. And then I'm like, all right, we'll see what she's about. And then she came up on, I follow her on TikTok and Instagram. I think she started coming on my Instagram feed, and I'm like, is this someone copying her? Because I know she made a video about that someone was copying her, not giving her flowers, like not putting her name, not mentioning her, nothing. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm like, so she is a real person. And then more videos, and then you see like her parents, like, you know, unfortunately had some car troubles, and then talk about her, you know, God forbid there was a tornado, her and her kids hiding in the bathroom. I'm like, she's a legitimate person. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't want to have a false connection with anyone. And it's like, when you are open to learning, like we were talking about here with the Eight of Pentacles here, you know what I mean? And it's just like learning new practices, because she does teach us, thankfully. Like, you know, she's not a gatekeeper like some people. Oh, you got to join my class for $2,500, and You know, hopefully you'll learn something there and get your money's worth. You know, she's very transparent and she knows what she puts out there some way, somehow will find her. Like she said, even when she like buys groceries, there's more money from where that came from. She's teaching us how to sit there and bring more positivity into our lives instead of looking at things like I was saying, changing our point of view. And it's like they kept, you know, Chelsea Gomez reconfirmed what Spirit was telling me, you know, and it's like, you know, I'm not going to worry about that situation. God's got it. Whatever's going to happen there. I told the kids, thank you very much, but mind your business and move forward. You know what I mean? But like she said, they're bringing the drama. You only drama finds you if you allow yourself, you know, to let them manipulate your energy. And like I said, God's already got our back. He's already figured out the situation. Whatever they're trying to bring in, I'm not going to allow it. Period. This is a very happy, joyous time in our lives, and I'm not going to let anyone spoil it. I am very thankful. We are very blessed. We worked very hard to get to where we are, and I'm not going to allow anyone to come in and try to, you know, X, Y, Z. So, pardon me, I got a cough. But, you know, I was like, you know, that moon card. We're calling back in our tribe, bringing back in that balance. Venus, love. You know, it's all the perspective you see it. I'm going to end it there. May the universe bless you good. Have a great, fabulous week. I'm still going to post. It's been a bit crazy, but I'm doing the best I can, I promise. Just personal readings and stuff like that. So, you know, doing the best I can. But you do the best you can. That's all you got to say. I did the best I can today. You didn't get everything done on your... Like, I wanted to do that this weekend. Weather didn't work out. It was a little chilly. So, it's like, you know, thankfully, it's just the beginning. You know what I mean? It's just like, I want to sit there and start doing things earlier because I really enjoy flowers and, you know, outdoors and all that stuff. I just love it. That's my season. Like, spring, summer when it's hot, hot, hot. Ugh, no thank you. But, so I'm trying to enjoy the season before the hot, you know, June 21st, gets here. And it's too hot to be outside. You know, God's grace will be blessed with a pool or a body of water that we can swim by and not have to worry about that no more. Because you can just go, like they said, go jump in a lake. You know what I mean? And enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.